Hello students. So students, in the previous class we had completed the chapter that is chemical reaction and equation. You see students, in the previous class we had discussed, we had completed the chapter and we have seen two things. That is corrosion and rancidity. Corrosion and rancidity is, you can say, is an oxidation process only that used to occur in our day-to-day life. And in case of the corrosion, the oxidation of the metal happen. In case of rancidity, the oxidation of food material, that is the food consisting of the fats and oils, oxidation of fats and oil occur. Both of the process is the slow degradation or a slow process in which it react with the oxygen, it react with the moisture which is present, and finally due to which it get destroyed. Okay, it get destructed. If we talk about the corrosion, students, we have seen that the slow degradation happens of the metal surface, slow destruction of the metal surface happens due to the reaction of the metal with that of the oxygen. Okay, so it is the oxygen which used to react with that of the metal surface as well as the moisture present in it, and finally there is a formation of a rust. Basically, the rust formation happen in case of a iron, where the iron react with the water, it react with the oxygen, and there is a formation of a ferric oxide, and that will also consisting of a water, so hydrated ferric oxide we can say, or we use another term for it, and that is rust. So formula of the rust is Fe2O3 dot XH2O. The term X that we use, it is telling about there can be a number of water molecules present. So it can be 1, it can be 2. So that's why it is written XH2O. If we talk about the copper, so copper undergo corrosion, and there this copper used to react with the carbon dioxide, water and oxygen, and finally there is a formation of a copper carbonate, and that we call as a basic copper carbonate, and that is green in color. So basically CuCO3 dot CuOH whole twice is the formula of the basic copper carbonate. Then if we talk about the silver, so tarnishing of the silver also happens. Here the silver will react with the hydrogen sulfide H2S, and finally there is a formation of a silver sulfide which is a black color, which forms a black coating, and that we call as a tarnishing of a silver. We have seen that there are some of the methods by which we are able to prevent corrosion, like applying oil or grease or paint, varnishes, galvanization, then we can make alloys. So all these things are helpful in preventing the corrosion. The second thing is the rancidity. If we talk about rancidity, so that is the oxidation of the fats and oils. So here also what happened, the fats and the oils which is present in the food used to react with the oxygen, and due to which there is a coming of the foul smell from that of the food only. Now in case of the rancidity, student, if we talk about that, there you will find one thing that we can prevent it. Now here the oxidation process happens, so if we will going to use an antioxidant, then it will be quite easy for us to prevent the oxidation of the fat and the oil. So what kind of an antioxidant that we can use is butylated hydroxy toluene or butylated hydroxy anisole are the two antioxidants that we can use to prevent the oxidation of the fats and oil. As well as we can also do the method like use of the nitrogen gas, or use of the vacuum, means a vacuum packing. These all are some of the methods by which we can prevent rancidity. So this is all about in the chapter of the chemical reaction and equation. Now today we are starting with that of the life process. First of all, we will understand the term, the meaning of this chapter. You see students, in this chapter the name is given life process. Life. So when the term life came, the first thing that is living and the non-living. Life is what? Life is basically there in the organisms which we call as the living organisms. So how can we say that this particular object or this particular thing is having life or it do not having life? It means how can we say that it is a living thing and it is a non-living thing? So there must be some characteristics. On the basis of that we can divide it into the living things and the non-living things. When we talk about the living things, students, you see the first thing happens. Now suppose you are sitting in a room and there a thing which is moving. Okay, so the first thing that came to our mind to understand the term life is the movement. So when we say that this object is a living object, you will see that if an object is moving, we will say that it is having some kind of a life in it. Life in case of a plants or in case of animals. You know that the animals and the plant, they used to move. Although the movement can vary from the animals to that of the plants. Okay, there the stem used to move, the branches used to move, the fruits or the leaves used to move because of the wind. Growth happened in the plants, and that growth is a slow process, so we cannot see it, we cannot we can only understand that okay, it is growing, it is increasing, the size is increasing, but we cannot say that here we are actually seeing that how it is, how the changes are occurring. It means how it is moving. Okay, so the movement that happens in case of the plant is totally different. In case of the animals, you see that they used to change the place from one place to another. So we can say that the animals, they used to locomote, they used to change the place. But plants, they do not change, they used to move. So they used to show the movement. So the thing which is common in both of them, that is the movement. So we can say that if an object is showing movement, that movement here again, movement by its own, that kind of a movement will be a characteristic of a living organism. We can say that if an object is moving by its own, why are you using with this term? Because you know that there are a lot of non-living things also, like car is there or a bus is there, a lot of machines are there which used to move. But we used to, the engine used to make them to move, or any kind of an external influence is there which make it to move or to change the place. So here, in case of the living thing, in case of the organism which is having life, there is not such kind of a movement in which that external influence, but the movement occur by its own. So the first characteristic that we can see in case of a living organism is the movement. Likewise, there are a lot of different characteristics, and the basis of that we can say that a living organism is actually possess such kind of a characteristic. On the basis of that we can say that it is living thing or it is a non-living thing. So let me write some of the characteristic of a living thing to understand it. Okay, so if you will write the first one, students. So the first one is that living things can move by themselves. Can move by themselves. Move by. They can move by themselves. Second one, I already had discussed about this, that the living thing, they used to move by themselves, while the non-living things, they can move until and unless an external support or an external influence is there. Okay. In case of a living things need food, air, and water. Living things need food, air and water. This is the characteristic of the living things here, that they need food, they need air and they need water. Obviously, if we talk about the non-living things, they do not need food, they do not need air, they do not need water. While the living things, they use, you know that the food and air and water used to provide energy, and it is necessary for them to survive. Food used to give energy, air is important, oxygen that is helpful to carry the process of the respiration. Water is important for the survival of a living organisms. So we can say that this is the important thing for the living thing. But what about non-living thing? There is no need of food, there is no need of air, there is no need of water for them to survive. Then the living things can grow. So you see, students, that living things can grow. Obviously, if suppose you had kept a chair for a period, and if you look at after a month or a 2 month or a year, you will find that there is no change. It means there is no change in the size. But in case of the living thing, whether it is a plant or the animal, you know that it keeps on growing. So there is a growth, that is a characteristic, that is a property of that of a living things. Next one, students, that is living things can respond to living things can respond to the changes around them. The changes around them, which means they are sensitive. Okay, so we can say that the living things, they used to respond to the changes that occur and the changes that is occurring around them. Obviously, students, you see that what kind of a changes to the sunlight or to the temperature. You see that if in case of a plant, there are a lot of a plant, they used to open when the sunlight is there, and they used to close themselves when there is no sunlight. You see, the plants, they used to grow in the upward direction, and the reason is that they used to move towards the sunlight. Okay, same thing with us also. We used to do the work at the day, okay, although we use the things with the night also, like using the bulb and everything. But according to the temperature, we used to react. So we used to respond according to the changes that is happening around us. But the non-living things, there is no such kind of a response can be seen. Then the next one is living things can respire. Living things can respire. Living things can respire. So you see that we used to show the process of a respiration. What happened in the process of respiration? We used to take oxygen through the process of breathing. This oxygen reaches to the cells, and there the glucose which is coming, it will react with the glucose, and finally the glucose and the oxygen help in providing the energy, and this process is called as the respiration. This respiration process occurred in the plants as well as in the animals. But in case of the non-living things, there is no such kind of a respiration occur. Next one is the living things used to excrete. Living things excrete. Living things excrete. What does that mean? That living things used to remove the unwanted substances. Okay, you know that we used to take food and we used to remove it, we used to excrete it, we used to show the process of excretion by the removal of the unwanted substances. Like discharging of the urine, feces are there, as well as sweat. These all will come in the excreta or the waste product that we used to release out from the body. The same thing happened with the plants also. They used to release raisins or the gums. These are the some of the waste material that is excreted by the plants. So that will also come in the excretion. But the non-living things, they do not. Finally, students, that living things used to reproduce. Living things can reproduce. They can have young ones. So living things, they used to reproduce and they have the young ones. Reproduction process is shown by the living organisms. It means they used to give birth to their young ones. But you see that the non-living thing, they do not show the characteristic of the reproduction. So these are what? These are some of the characteristics. On the basis of that, we can say that okay, this organism, this thing is a living thing, this thing possesses life, while the other thing which is not showing these kind of a characteristic is supposed to be the non-living organism, or they do not consisting of a life in it. Okay, now we will try to understand that what is the term life process. Okay, life process. What are life process? You see, students, we had discussed that these are the characteristics of the living organism. So every living organism, they used to do some process so that they can survive. Okay, and these is important for their survival. These are the things which is performed by the system that they have there in their body, and this is only, we can say, the life processes that occur in a living organism. Okay, so we can say that every living organism used to perform some basic function in order to make it alive. And what are that basic function that is important for them is nutrition, nutrition is there, students, then respiration, then transport. Okay, transport, it means circulation, you can also see transport. So circulation, then excretion, excretion is there, then control and coordination, then growth, then movement. Okay, growth, movement, finally reproduction. These are some of the processes that is performed by the living organism that is important for them to survive. Nutrition is there, respiration is there, control coordination is there, growth is there, reproduction is there, transport is there, excretion is there, movement is there, students. Now if we talk about the nutrition, students, so nutrition is what? It is a process of intaking of the food. The organism, living organism used to take the food, and this food will goes inside the body, and there are lot of enzymes are present which help in the digestion of this food. We can say that the nutrition is nothing but intaking of the food and digestion of this food in the body, that we will include into the nutrition. Although when we study about the nutrition in the same chapter, students, then we will come to know about the different steps which is involved in that of the nutrition and how the process of the digestion happens in the body. The second one is the respiration. In case of a respiration, what happened? Taking of the oxygen and release of the carbon dioxide. Basically, this is the only process that happen in case of the respiration. Now, what happened here, basically when we take the oxygen, this oxygen reaches to the food which is absorbed and it helps in the breakdown of the food, oxidation of the food, and finally energy is released. So here in case of a nutrition, we have taken the food and we'll take the nutrients which is present in that of the food. In case of a respiration, we will take the food and the oxygen help in the breakdown of the food and finally the energy is released. In case of the transport includes, students, the substance which has absorbed that should reach to each and every part of the body. That is the process which is involved in case of the transport. If you see the circulation process, basically you have seen oxygen is responsible for, blood is responsible for taking the oxygen to different parts, as well as you see that the other transport including the sodium or the ions or the enzymes, that will also happens in the water which is present there. So this we can say that this is the basic thing that happened in case of the transport. Excretion. So now you have taken everything. There are some of the materials, some of the substances which we can say is the unused or the waste one, which our body do not want to consume it, do not need it. Such kind of substances are supposed to be a waste substances. Now these substances, the body should get rid of these waste substances, otherwise it can cause harm to the body. So it is important to remove it, and the process of the removal of the waste material from the body, that we will call as a process of excretion, and the organ which used to perform the process of excretion is called as excretory organ. Then comes the control and coordination. Okay. In case of a control and coordination, basically our body used to react according to the changes that is happening in our environment. Okay, so according to the stimuli, our body used to respond. Okay, that we will call it. We will understand it in the control and coordination. How our body help in responding the stimuli, that we will include in the control and coordination. Then comes the growth. In case of the growth, here there is a change in the plants happen. Okay, so the organism used to grow, that is also a life process. Then the movement happens, students, growth and movement, and finally reproduction. You see, in case of a reproduction, this is a very important kind of a characteristic of a living organism, because none of the non-living thing will going to show it. Growth is not, but yeah, movement can be shown by that of the non-living thing, but the reproduction not. Basically, reproduction is what in which the birth of a young one or the egg is laid by the living organism. So that is the reproduction. Okay, so the living organism, they used to perform this life process also, and that is reproduction. So these are, students, some of the important life processes which is performed by a living organism. Okay, now we will try to understand the next topic, and that is whatever the process which is going on, students. If we talk about the nutrition or the respiration or excretion, you see, the important thing is here that our body, if it want to perform any function, needs energy, and that energy is very important. So we can say that why do we need energy? In order to perform the various life process, in order to perform the various functions of our life, we need energy. And from where we get this energy? We get this energy from the food. With the process of nutrition, this digestion happen, and energy is released through the process of the respiration. So this energy is finally stored in the form of ATP in the mitochondria, and further it can be used for the different purpose. Okay, so we can say that every living organism need energy to carry out their life processes, students. Okay, so you can understand it by that if suppose you want to drive a car, so how you will come, how the car will move? Only when you will give fuel to it, when you give petrol to it. So petrol is what? It is the fuel. It is a thing which provide energy for the car to move. The same thing happened with here also, that in order to carry out the life process, we need energy. Energy is a kind of a fuel which is important for us, which is important for the living organism to carry out their basic life functions. Okay. So this is all about that of the life process. So we have understood here one thing, that life process is what? It is basically the thing which is the process which occur in the living organism which possess some kind of a characteristics. Life processes include the nutrition, the excretion, respiration, transport, control, coordination, reproduction. If all of these are performing by the living organism, that we will say it as a life process, and these things is important as it provide energy to us. Now we will start with the first one, and that is called nutrition. Nutrition. So the first thing, when we talk about the nutrition, you will say that this nutrition term came from the nutrient. Okay, yes, absolutely, it comes from the term that is nutrient. So from where we get this nutrient? We get the nutrient from the food. So food is that organic substance which help in providing the nutrient to us. So we can say that food is an organic substance. The simpler substance is sugar. Sugar, actually we call it as glucose. Glucose. Okay. Organic substance. Simpler substance is the glucose, students. Now, this glucose we get it from the different kind of the food item. Like if we talk about the carbohydrate. So basically, if we talk to the students, you see that glucose is starch is made up of glucose. It means if lot of a glucose they combine together, then there is a formation of a starch occur. Okay, and the general term that we use for the glucose is the sugar itself. Okay, so we can say here, now you see here the starch is what? It is basically a carbohydrates, and carbohydrate is what? This carbohydrate is a nutrient. Okay, so you see that the starch is the carbohydrate is the nutrient. So when we take carbohydrate from the different food items, from potato, from sugarcane, all these things help in providing the rice, these things help in providing the carbohydrate. So when we take carbohydrate, this is the kind of a nutrient. This carbohydrate consisting of the starch, and this starch finally get converted into the glucose, and this glucose help in providing the energy to us. Likewise, other nutrient also provide energy. Other nutrient will also inorganic and organic substance which finally gets simplifies finally get converted into the simpler substances and we get energy through it. Now, if we talk about the definition of the nutrient itself, because the term nutrition comes from the nutrient, students. So, we can write it that substance which an organism obtains from its surrounding, surroundings and uses it as a source of energy, that is called as the nutrient. The substances that we obtain from the surrounding and we use it to get energy. Okay.